Hello everyone, this is Antti from Almost Human, and I'm here to show you a sneak preview of the upcoming dungeon editor for Legend of Grimrock. The dungeon editor is dominated by the map view here in the middle, and well, surprise surprise, it basically shows the map of the level, and I can go ahead and pick the drawing tool and start drawing some tunnels. And I can use the left mouse button to draw some tunnels and the right mouse button to erase them. And the cool thing about this editor is that we have a pretty much instantaneous preview of the level. So if I just go ahead and press play, the level is instantly playable. And I can do some changes to the layout, draw some new tunnels, add some walls, press play again, and the changes are refreshed instantly. And over here to the left from the map view we have the project view, where the levels of the dungeon are listed. Currently we have just only one level, but we can easily add new ones or delete old ones and change their order and whatnot. And if I want to change the level of the dungeon, I can go ahead and be creative and name this level, say, Test Dungeon. And I can also change the graphics of the level or the wall set. Currently we have the default dungeon wall set in use, but I can go ahead and switch it and refresh, and it's instantly all the graphics change. And below the project view we have the asset browser, where all the different items and decorations and levers and switches and pressure plates and monsters are all listed. And there's quite a few of them, but I can use the filters to take a look at, say, only weapons alone, or just the monsters, or logic scripting helpers, or doors. So, for instance, this dungeon seems a little dark for my taste right now, so I can go ahead and add a torch to the wall. Let's go next to it, and now I'm gonna refresh it. Now we have the torch holder, but it's still kinda dark. I'm gonna go and take a closer look by pressing F. Now I'm in the full screen mode here in the preview. And yeah, you can see the torch holder here on the wall, but there's no torch on it. And to fix the situation, we need to use the select tool, pick the torch holder, and take a look at here in the inspector. The inspector lists all sorts of information of any asset you might pick. We have names and IDs and positions and whatnot, and often there are parameters that you can configure as well. So with the torch holder I can add a torch by clicking this checkbox, and when it's refreshed we have a nice bright light to brighten our base. And of course I can add monsters over here. Let's add a couple of snails, and when I preview the game you can see them moving around in the preview as well as on the map view, so you can keep track of what's going on in the game. And I can also pause the preview at any time if the monsters are bugging me off, and I can go ahead and do some scripting or whatever and then get back to the game. And but for now I'm just gonna delete the monsters because I want to concentrate on a little bit of puzzles and scripting right now. Let me change the layout just a little bit, and I'm gonna add a door here and a lock that I can use to open the door. So let's filter for doors, pick a nice portcullis and place it here, and then let's add a lock next to it on the wall. So there we have it, a lock and a door. Currently the lock doesn't do anything and the door won't, there's no way to open the door. So we need to add a little bit of scripting over here. So if we select the lock take a look at its inspector. We can change what we can use to open it up with. So let's say we need an iron key to open the lock, like so, and it won't open the door yet because it doesn't know what it needs to do when the lock is operated. So we need to add a connection between the lock and the door, and it happens by pressing this add connector button over here, and it gives us a fresh new connector. So what we need to do is we need to define a target and an action for this lock. When the lock is activated, we're gonna pick a target, which is the portcullis, and the action, which is gonna, well, I'm gonna leave it as open here. So now we have a functional lock, and to get the lock open, I'm gonna, of course, need the iron key. So let me place it over here. And now we have a nice functional level. The door is open. And that's a simple piece of script, but of course if I want to get fancy, I can go ahead and, well, let's say that I'm gonna add a nasty trap as well for the player. I'm gonna carve a little bit of new tunnel over here. And when the player opens the lock, I'm gonna shoot a fireball at him. And to get the fireball to the level, I'm gonna use a spawner right here in front of this demon head. So now if I go to the spawner, I can set the spawned entity as fireball. You know, you can use the spawner, of course, to spawn enemies or whatnot if you want to, but I need a fireball right now. So I'm gonna add another connector for the lock and pick the spawner as its target. So now when the lock is activated, it does two things. It opens the door and it launches the fireball. Let's see how it goes. Here's the iron key. Boom. Just got blasted by a fireball. So that's the very basics of scripting in the Legend of Grimrock dungeon editor. Of course, if you want to go a little more in depth in creating the levels, we have these script entities that you can place, and you know, you can write any sort of Lua script here, and the possibilities are pretty much endless when you go that way. And so that's the editor in a nutshell, and I hope you liked what you saw here. And the editor will be a free update to Legend of Grimrock. So thank you, bye bye.